Hi, I'm Chris Blum. I am one of the ministers here at Bhava, and I also am a sound bowl practitioner. You can learn more about my sound bowls at thespiritedsoul.org. And I'm just going to play a little mini sound bath for everybody today. So if you feel called, close your eyes. Just take a couple nice deep breaths in and I'll get started.
Hi, welcome back to our Bhava Spiritual Mission Sunday broadcast. Happy days. I hope you're out there having a beautiful Sunday. Apparently, it's going to start really snowing here this week in Northern California. So we're all kind of, I just found out about it yesterday. I saw a Facebook post. I'm like, what? So preparation time. So that's kind of exciting. Northern California does have 4 seasons, but not 4 seasons like the East Coast. So a week of snow is kind of a big deal for us. So thank you so much for coming on and joining us and creating this sacred space together. I am so happy to have you here to be able to tune in and channel a message from Divine Spirit for all of us and to bring you on board and have you expand on this message with us. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to go in and read you the message I received from Spirit this morning. I wrote it all out for us. And then we're going to bring on one of our leadership team, Yvonne, to discuss the message and expand on it further. And we want to have you joining in on that discussion as well. So please feel free to leave comments. Let us know your questions. Let us know your pings. Let us know your life experiences. When we all come together in service to Divine Spirit and in service to understanding and receiving the message from Divine Spirit, something powerful happens. We increase our understanding of Holy Spirit exponentially because we're all coming in together. Spirit can give us information based on our lens of perspective. We're humans, we have an ego, we have a human experience. So Spirit gives us the message in the most expanded way we are able to receive it. But when we all come together, receiving that message together, We have different lenses of experience. And so we can expand on this message much more broadly than if it was just us in our little kind of siloed way. So that's why we do these gatherings. That's why I create this sacred space. And I'm really excited to have you a part of this today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I go in and ground us and read the message, I just want to talk a little bit about who the heck we are and what the heck we're doing here. So for those of you who are not familiar with our organization, the Bhava Spiritual Mission is a digital church. We are here to help you live in partnership with Spirit. There's a lot of ways we go about doing that, only one of which is showing up here every Sunday to deliver a message from Spirit and to gather us together to expand on that message from Spirit. We also run a school through the Bhava Spiritual Mission. It is an ordination program, and it is designed to help you live in partnership with Spirit and do your deepest healing work, and then help you learn to commune more clearly and completely with Divine Spirit and take that message out into the world. We're all here to do spiritual work, to be of divine service. If the way that you're called to do that is to show up and share Spirit's message, sort of like what we're doing here, then give us a shout out. We'd love to talk to you. Our community is open to new members. Okay, it's just a little bit about us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. What I want you to do now is close your eyes with me, and I want you to take a few deep breaths. Go in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. And maybe you'll feel warm or tingly, or you'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core, and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra, and exhale into your root chakra. I want to encourage you to keep your eyes closed, to open up your auras and hear the message from Divine Spirit. Not just hear it, but receive it. Fully receive today's message. And don't worry too much about remembering every single word. Just allow the energy, allow the concrete feeling of Spirit to enter your body and stay there. A great gathering is happening across this universe, and it is initiated by you. Though you are mostly unconscious of it at the moment, you will become aware of it soon enough. The more sensitive of you will sense it all across the universe, but the less sensitive will at least see it in your physical reality. This gathering is a coming together, a unification of hearts. It is the first real step forward in this new paradigm of love. It happens across the universe because it is happening here. You, your experience, your decisions, your expansion, this is the epicenter for all of the energy in your universe. Humans are special. You have God living in your heart. And it makes you a sort of engine for expansion or contraction across this entire universe. There is nothing but love for you here. You're not making mistakes, and you never have. You've created quite a lot of swells in and out of love. But we, all of us, all inhabitants of this universe, seen and unseen by you, have great faith in you. You are extraordinary. So this coming together in hearts on your planet is significant, and we are all following suit. We thank you for your hearts. We thank you for your courage. We thank you for your love. Your hearts are like love transmitters for both projecting and receiving. They are like nothing else in this sliver of creation. We love that you can feel our love so acutely, and oh, we feel your love too. Every time you open your hearts to each other, to yourselves, to Great Spirit, we get to feel that too. This is why we have such faith in you. We feel your hearts, and it is good. Let's just take a deep breath together. Letting that message sink in for just a moment. You know, the Spirit, a theme that Spirit has when Spirit comes through me is telling us over and over again, you are so powerful. You are God. You are God. You are God. And it's funny because the other thing I always say to people, I say this especially to my students, is we're really digging into that deeper work. We hit fear walls. You know, humans have these fear walls. And it's what we are all afraid of. What it all boils down to is we're afraid of our power. We are afraid of that God essence, that ultimate responsibility. And we cover it up with our ego stories and our ego identities and our self-sabotaging behavior and all of that. But what Spirit is saying to us, you know, in March of last year, March of 2020, we popped into a new paradigm. We popped into it. We are in the paradigm of love. We have been for almost a year. And now Spirit is saying, okay, now your hearts are actually moving forward. There's been a lot of like, okay, move yourselves from fear to love. Move yourselves from fear to love. There's been a lot of fear that we've been dealing with, and we've been practicing moving into love. And now it's like this whole world is taking one giant step forward into this new paradigm, this great gathering. And Spirit has said this before, that we are like the epicenter for the energies of the universe. And I want to talk for a minute about the difference between when I say universe and creation. Okay, creation is all that is, which is way bigger than our universe. But my understanding from Spirit is our universe is like this sliver of creation, our physical sliver of creation, what we are experiencing. And that's just one sliver. And that's what we're dealing with. And we are the epicenter of that universe. So the energy that we produce individually and collectively radiates out from our planet out into the entire universe. And I love when Spirit said to us, all seen and unseen by you. So when we think unseen, I mean, we're thinking, I don't know for sure what it all is. Spirit has not shared all that with me. It's not terribly relevant right now, but there are certainly like extraterrestrials, extra dimensionals, and spirit guides. And, you know, there's all kinds of beings and activity that we don't see on a day-to-day basis. But when Spirit said seen and unseen, I realized that everything on this planet is, you know, seen by us. And maybe we don't communicate with them. Some of us do. For example, trees are divine beings. I've felt that for a while, but it's what comes to me is like, that's part of the seen versus the unseen. We tend to really focus on the unseen because we take the seen for granted. You know, the support, the faith. There's trees, there's animals. I especially had dogs pop into my head, like dogs are man's best friend. Dogs are an example of unconditional love. And, that was something that really popped in. So one of the things I want to share today is like, let's also bring our attention in gratitude back to the support, the love that is here for us, that is seen as well as the unseen. We get really caught up in like, ooh, Spirit and aliens. And like, that's really fun. But let's look at the trees and the animals, even the rocks, the skies, the earth, the buildings themselves that we have built are sentient. You know, they're created from, everything is sentient. Everything is sentient and has an energy, and we can commune with it. And everything is here to assist us because we are the epicenter. We have God in our hearts like nothing else. And again, I don't have details about that. Maybe you do. If you have something, come, then leave a comment and let's bring it into the conversation. but everything is sentient. Everything is here to serve us because we are the energetic epicenter. And the other thing that really struck me during that message is we feel your hearts. We feel your hearts. We have this ability to transmit our hearts. When we open our hearts, we transmit that love across the entire universe. And every being, seen and unseen, on this planet, in our skies, and unseen, what we don't recognize, feels our love when we open our hearts. So when you say, look at your child and you go, oh, I love you. Everything across creation feels that love. We feel it in each other. When somebody looks at you and says, I love you, and they say it from the heart, or even if they don't say it, when they look at you and they project that from the heart, you feel it. You feel it. Everything in creation is feeling that right now. Everything in creation is feeling our love. And that is why it has been so important as we have popped into this new paradigm, into this new energy, into this incredible new earth, why the work in the beginning has been individuals, move yourself from fear to love. Move yourself from fear to love. And we have been really effective in that. That's what Spirit is saying now. We've been so effective in moving ourselves from fear into love that it's time to take the next step. Bam, this great gathering. What will it look like? I don't know, but let's focus on that energy and the feeling of that great gathering. We are gathering our hearts together. We are coming together in a really powerful way. And as a result, boom, everything around us in this universe is coming together. We are the epicenter. We are the epicenter. That's kind of amazing. That's what I feel. So that's what I got out of the message today. There's my little lens of perspective. I'm going to bring on the fabulous and amazing and wonderful Miss Yvonne Marie because she's going to have some good stuff to add to this too. So Yvonne, welcome, beautiful. Good morning.
How are ya?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Amazing. And I'm just, my ears are ringing at the synchronicity. Oh, wait, can't make this stuff up of my vision yesterday. And what you were talking about today, that God particle in our heart. I was talking about the God particle, and for those of you who weren't in my head yesterday, I had a vision of basically the Big Bang. I saw a God particle come together within me.
Wow.
And my heart. And then the Big Bang showed me who I was from beginning to end and how these events of my lifetime fell like dominoes because that's the way they were meant to go. Mm-hmm. That giving into spirit, that Big Bang. So yeah, I saw that whole human heart that you were talking about as the
God particle.
Yeah, like this divine shell with the God particle inside it.
Yummy.
Know? And some of us just aren't willing to open up
and that's fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fear of our power. Everything seems, all of our fears, I feel like, as I explore fear more and more deeply as we move along, it always seems to boil down to, and you're afraid of your power. And you're afraid of your power. And I love how you described that as a shell around the God particle. What came to me there was like a seed,
mm-hmm.
And in order for the seed to grow into a plant, has to break that shell, and that shell is the fear, and inside that is love.
I love that. That's a great analogy. Yeah, we should write that down. Oh wait,
somebody write it down. Yes. Okay, happy days. You'll live on YouTube forever. Yeah, we're still looking for our Bhava scribe to write all of this. Like, can't make this stuff up down. Nobody's like jumped on it, but
someone out there is listening. Out there somewhere.
All right, scribe.
It was. But seriously, it really, your words today brought that whole vision that I had together. I saw us like giant tuning forks connecting with the multiverse by attuning ourselves with our spirit energy, with our God particle heart, getting our chakras spinning like the planetary rings, grounded into the earth so that we can hold that connection, this powerful God particle connection, that Big Bang that we get when we connect with spirit and we're grounded in earth. I mean, that's a powerful divine creator being experience when we open ourselves to that.
Yeah, this is what makes us the channel. Humans,
Exactly.
we ground into the earth and lock ourselves in, and then we're able to reach all the way up into spirit. And in the middle, the love comes out. Just
Right.
wah!
Exactly.
Go
Yeah.
wide and deep. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And I heard something yesterday that stuck with me, which was that faith is 1 minute of 23 hours and
Mhm.
59, 59 minutes.
Yeah.
It's that one moment that inspires you to continue through all the other
Mhm.
moments to get to another moment of
It's presence. Yeah.
Exactly.
Faith is presence. It's just being right here, right now. When you're present, you can't help but be in faith. And faith and love are the same thing.
right. And it's a
Faith and love are the
practice.
same thing. It is a practice. Everything's a practice.
Right.
Humans tend to really beat themselves up, and that's more fear. That's more
Mhm.
self-sabotage. That's more keeping yourself, pulling yourself away from that love, that place, that love inside of us. That Angelina just referred to it as the golden seed. I love that.
Mhm.
And here, one of the reasons why I love that is, to me, the color gold is like the sacred masculine, but it's like the sacred masculine is here to provide structure.
Right.
And so it really, the gold really represents our physical reality, the divine essence of our physical reality, which is sacred structure, to hold the feminine, which feels like a much more permeable, sort of edgeless
Right.
substance. And the masculine is here to hold that. So I love the golden seed. It's like, yes, we are giving structure to the divine, giving form to the divine through our lived experience. And I think that's gorgeous. Well said, Angelina. Thank you.
I like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been a juicy week,
Right. Yes.
Ups and downs. It seems like, some days you don't even get that 1 minute, but then all of a sudden, boom, the spirit connection's just incredibly expansive.
That 1 minute changes everything. It's like we talk about in Bhava, when we're going through learning how to meditate, a lot of people come into Bhava like, I got the meditation thing down. Thank you very much. And that's fine. But some people still really struggle. And the reason for that, I feel like, is there's a lot of weird judgment and expectations around meditation. But what I've always said to people, I know you've heard me say this, Yvonne, is like, it only takes that one like nanosecond of meditation, of finding the eye of the storm, and you've hit God, and that transforms your whole day. So yeah, that 1 minute of finding that faith, and everything is better. You don't have to spend an hour meditating. Good luck. You're not meditating for an hour. 99.9% of us, maybe like Sadhguru or Yogananda can meditate for an hour, but most of us lowly humans down here, we get that 1 minute, and that's what we're after. So your breath, your meditation, your prayer, get anything to get you to that 1 minute. That's where you get to, like Angelina said, and you said, that seed in your heart, that golden seed.
Exactly.
Bust through that shell. Boom. You've just expanded your heart, and you're now living the rest of your day in love.
Right.
1 minute.
Yes. I love it. I keep seeing the, I've talked about the elliptical energy that I like to do, which is start at the heart, go up and above the crown, and then bring that spirit energy down below the feet. And I think that's where the whole particle accelerator came from, that seed, that God particle within.
Yeah.
And our divine, eternal creator being. It's this whole experience since the start of 2021, since the start of 2020, turning into this divine golden era. It just seems like we're popping up with all these different new wormholes in this paradigm.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, what a time to be alive. Right? I mean, it's been amazing and ecstatic, and also like hell. And
yes.
And I find that like this new year to me is starting to we're sort of like moving into this energy. It's like there's a balance that's coming into play. Like I feel balancing out, whereas last year was like, this year feels so much more balanced to me. And I feel like for me, what has really shifted in my practice, especially this week, has been putting God first.
Mm-hmm.
We always say we put God first. We don't really put God first. We're by putting God first. What I mean is getting myself into alignment with my God heart, and then going about my day. And here's, what I do. When I'm not putting God first, when I'm not really operating in love every day, is like my spiritual practice might be kind of half-hearted, or like I'll focus more on something that I'm spinning on, or I'll let myself sit in story for a long time. But what I've started to do is get really vigilant about, I know when I'm out of alignment. I know when I've got fear running me versus when I've got love running me. And my ego really wants to stay in fear. And it's not that I can't get out of the fear. It's that my ego is like, let's hang out here. We'll just be fine. We hang out here. And so what I've really been practicing is vigilance. Again, like reinvigorating my vigilance around love and around coming into my heart and living from that heart space by being calling myself out when I'm out of alignment, and then doing whatever it takes to get me back into alignment, whether that is a little yoga, a little meditation, or like the other day I turned on Abraham Hicks really loud on my speaker and cleaned my house, and like that did it. Really, that was great. That carried me for like 2 days. That was wonderful. But the ego is always the fear brain is going to trick us into staying in that fear, even if it's like kind of low levels of fear, like a little low roaring anxiety or a little bit of a bad mood or whatever it is. But we have the ability to move ourselves out of that by simply bringing our focus and our love back to ourselves and our own hearts. And then it radiates out from there. And I got to tell you, I have had so many of the can't make this stuff up moments this week, like ridiculous little things, and little things and big things. Little things like I was listening to my Abraham Hicks. And if you're not familiar with Abraham Hicks, good Lord, do you live under a rock? But in case you're not familiar, Abraham Hicks is channeled by Esther Hicks, and it's a group of beings called Abraham. And they talk about law of attraction. And it's really super focused on law of attraction, but it's really juicy, like high energy, like, really kind of gets you excited. And I find that flipping on Abraham Hicks every once in a while when I'm feeling a little down, when I'm feeling pretty down, is very, very helpful. But I'm listening to Abraham Hicks. And then a year ago, I posted something in an Abraham Hicks group that was a painting I did with an Abraham Hicks quote on it, and a couple of other little things that I posted in that group. And right as I was listening to Abraham Hicks, these posts from a year ago got a like from this woman. And then she sent me a friend request. And I'm like, okay, you can't make that stuff up. Like no. Right as I was listening to it. And lots of little stuff has been happening like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just coming together and it being easy. And it's funny because we're so afraid of our God heart. We're so afraid of this love. We're so afraid of our power, which is this divine love. And yet, when we do bust through that shell and just go, okay, I'm stepping into it. And it's just a question of like not listening to the fear brain anymore. You step into it, life gets really easy.
Right.
Like really good. Yeah.
It's funny as you're talking about it, I just keep thinking that part of that fear brain is our comfort, that zone of comfort that we want to put around ourselves to keep our ego satisfied, that we're safe. And that just creates this emotional roller coaster where, you draw close to God, you understand, you're in faith, and then boom, back to comfort. How do I make that happen? Because life is scary. It's an interesting experience watching how we all attune ourselves to that God heart. And the flip side of that is, those who fight it so much that their experience is so intense, because they're far away from that God heart.
Yeah.
That's
a really good point. Let's talk a little bit more about that, about these intense experiences, because you're so far away of the God heart. Right. I would say that's what suffering is about. Mm-hmm. Eckhart Tolle said, suffering is necessary until you realize it is not necessary. And I feel like that's what you're alluding to, what you're getting at, is we suffer when we are out of alignment with our God heart, because suffering is so uncomfortable, it forces us into alignment with our God heart. We finally go, Uncle. Yeah. For some people who are particularly tough, it can take a lot. Right?
Ding, ding, ding.
Right? Really, I'm like strong. I got inner strength. I got outer strength. I got a high pain tolerance. And you're fighting. And God is like, really.
Just surrender, babe.
Just
Surrender.
But suffering, the point of suffering is to get us to that place of surrender so that we can line up with our God heart, line up with that awesome power that is available because we are the divine in ecstatic motion. And then we show up and we are of divine service by our very existence because we are so authentically aligned. And here's the best part. You're happy. Like you're happy.
Right.
Happy. You're just happy. Life is good.
It's funny, as you were talking about suffering, what I got was other people's suffering as an example for us. So that there's some people who are not going to choose or be able to make it out of their suffering in this lifetime.
And that's actually okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And what I got, what the message I grabbed from that is that those people are an example for us. Do we want to choose to do the work to stay in our God heart? Because we see what happens when we don't. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah. And you can even look at it like, when people are here in this human experience to live a life of suffering and they never make their way out of that suffering back into their God heart. So, I just want to reiterate again, like that's okay. It can be really easy to get judgy about that, but let's not. When people are here, they are really in their own way, they are showing up being of divine service, like you said, to others, to people who are wanting to make their way out of that suffering, because there's an opportunity to see a lived experience outside of ourselves and redirect us. I don't know how many of us actually look to other people and embody that example in other people's experiences, but sometimes we do.
I do that a lot.
Oh, that's good.
That's something I do a lot, is watch other people, and because you and I are both empaths, we can kind of pick up what's going on.
That's true. We can feel it without experiencing it.
Yeah, and without being invasive on,
Yeah.
Because we know spirit won't let us go any farther, then it's okay. But watching other people's experiences and just feeling a little on the periphery of what, if it's a painful experience, where they are, to me, how people show up, feeling their experience, it helps me attune my God particle and also my human experience. It helps me transition from one mindset that's no longer serving to something different, because I can almost use the people around me like antenna, almost like old-fashioned radio thing. So I get all these signals, and then I can attune to a little bit of each different thing and pull it into one channel.
And that's the way to do it, folks. Do what Yvonne does. That's brilliant. I love that. Using your heart. And like the message said today, everyone is here in service to us. It's all working in your favor. Everything is here to serve you. Even your suffering, even the suffering of the people that you love, is also here to serve you. Yeah.
Even when you get caught up, because I think about, we live in a very small town. It's very easy to get caught up in the noise and the drama and the gossip and all of that. But there's nothing godlike in that. However, it is very interesting to watch people and feel their energy. And with a little bit of distance, get some more information about the human experience. I found that so beneficial, because for me, my head has always been wrapped around what does normal look like? And then I've realized by watching these people and feeling into their energy that we're either all doing the best we can, or some people are just so far outside of their God heart, they can't even see what that looks like. But feeling all of it, feeling the whole human experience and showing up in service however we can, that is extremely expansive and beautiful thing to do on a Sunday afternoon.
It is extremely expansive, beautiful thing to do on any afternoon, morning, or nighttime. Yeah,
I agree.
And we're here for the whole spectrum of the human experience. And I'm thinking, as we're talking about like being far away from our God heart and in line with our God heart, I've been thinking recently about how I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, the person I was. And, after I sort of dove into my heart, like 5 or 6, 7 years ago, I don't even know now, 6 years ago, probably. I remember diving into having a spiritual awakening, diving into my God heart. And then I would see people who I had worked with for almost 10 years. And it had only been sort of 4 months maybe since I'd seen them. And this happened so many times I can't even count. They looked at me and they stared at me with no recognition for like 10 seconds. And then they're like, oh, Ingrid, you know? So everybody is doing the best that they can. And so we need that. Some of us need that contrast, moving far, far, far away from divine spirit in our heart to snap us back so that we are capable of living more fully in our God heart. Step fully into it. So I've just been thinking, you know, I was
I couldn't agree more. It's an interesting dance, being a divine being in a human suit.
It is an interesting dance. And I'm sure that when we were sort of over here, we were examples for somebody of like what not to be.
Right.
But then stepping into alignment and getting happy and showing up in divine service with our passion, our happiness, our alignment. Oh my God, it's like the easiest thing ever. Now we get to be examples for people of how to live, how to show up and be happy. Speaking of dance, you mentioned the word dance. Angelina posted another juicy one here. We were talking about the divine structure. Hello, the Shiva structure, the Shakti, change, dance. Yes, it is a dance. Like you say, it's a dance. It's constant expansion.
Absolutely.
Expansion, contraction.
Absolutely.
And
it really is.
We're awesome at it. Renee, she's got a good one. We are the punishers and the punished.
Yeah.
We need to stop punishing ourselves and other people. Off you go. That's enough. Yeah. Let's not. Let's let people have their experience.
You're breaking up just a little bit, my darling.
Am I back?
Yes, there you are.
Okay, good.
Well, let people have their experience exactly, and go ahead and take note and let that be part of your experience.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Without judgment, but just with discernment and with compassion.
Absolutely.
Compassion is powerful. Compassion is such heart energy. The way that I understand, and this is, I think I channeled this last week, last Sunday service. There's like compassion is like basically holding space with this open, non-judgmental heart. It's creating this energy that allows people to do these transformative flips and come back into alignment with that golden seed, with their God heart.
Right. I can't help but thinking that one of the reasons why you were so effective in both your leadership and your teachings is because of your transparency. And I think that's one of the things that keeps both you and I out of suffering is we're willing to be messy with our experience. Yeah. We're willing to be transparent and to allow ourselves to be used as an example in the struggle between being humanity, our humanity, and our faith.
Yeah.
It's something that, just as we were talking about how people who don't operate from a place of faith, how that's an example that we can use to work on. It's more information from us. I think us showing up with our wounds and saying, yes, let's look at it. It's beautiful. How we operate with that transparency, that's a really valuable thing for other people to see. And I want to thank you for showing that to all of us, especially to me.
Oh. We just show up as best we can in every moment. And the thing is, like, and you're really good about calling yourself out, is what you call it. But really, the truth is, it's like when you're willing to see it, game over.
Exactly.
Over. And that's why, and also like verbalizing our BS is an ego killer. Like it's death to the ego, kryptonite to the ego, because the ego operates best in secrecy, in hiding, in pretending everything is fine, pretending there's no pain, pretending there's no stuff coming up. But the minute we go, oh, this is what I'm experiencing, I have an ego story running, that takes it down like 80% right there. Then you're like, okay, now I just have 20% of nonsense to work with. And you move through that. And the biggest thing too is don't take your BS too seriously.
Oh my goodness. That should be a banner, welcome to Nevada City. Don't take your BS personally. Just every town. That ego armor is, it can be really annoying. especially when you don't see it.
Yeah. And when you start talking about it, you inevitably start seeing it. And it's hard to talk about it. When our ego grips us with a story, with a fear story, I'm not good enough, they don't like me, whatever it is. If you kind of like hold on to it and keep it down here because you're afraid that if it sees the light of day, it'll like be outed, nobody will love you, like you won't have love. But the truth is, when you open up and be vulnerable, you know, then that story, it can't stand the light of day.
No.
But you have to, the way to get there is to really start to truly understand, oh, it's actually not that big a deal. Like everybody's got this stuff ready. Everybody's got this stuff ready.
I think understanding that being vulnerable isn't going to kill you is helpful too.
Yeah.
I think you've watched me struggle that with, having PTSD and trying to open up and really step into a place where I'm open to even things that I'm terrified of. That vulnerability, it's hard for some of us, but dang, when we push past it,
yeah,
what a glorious example we can be of the wounded healer. Because being honest about that experience, being transparent with it, allowing it to be used as a mirror for someone else who might be going through the same thing. That's our power, and that's helping everyone power up at the same time.
Yeah. Vulnerability is massively empowering. And I was one of those people like you who was like, nope.
Nope.
Sometimes it still takes me a while to identify an emotion I'm feeling because I spent so long running away from my emotions, running away from my experience. And it was just this frenetic life that I was like, run. And I have had to teach myself, as I know you've had this experience as well. You have to teach yourself, like, wait, hang on, what is that? Okay, hang on, what is that? And I will sit there and be like, I've actually said this to you. I've probably said this to you, like, hang on, I don't know what I'm feeling.
Right.
I'm feeling something and I don't know what it is. You just sit with it. Oh, wait, okay, yeah. But once you take that first step into vulnerability, then it becomes like you can't stop. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is what I need to do. I need to keep showing up. I need to keep being vulnerable.
Right.
Angelina made a comment right at the beginning that I've been wanting to address for a minute, and because this is important.
Okay.
She said the spirit has turned me into a channel, and I didn't realize it until today. And Angelina, what I want to say to it is, you've always been a channel, and we got it at the beginning, which is why we've been like, hey, want to come play with us? So we're all channels for spirit.
Exactly.
And it's when we come home when we get closer and closer to our authentic core, to that divine self, that we open up to spirit more fully. And then we're like, oh, look, I can channel. And we do make the mistake of like, oh, suddenly I'm a channel, but you've always been a channel.
Gosh, we've seen that from me. How many times?
All of us. Yes.
All of us. We all do it. I
all
want
do
to
it.
go back to that thing where you're talking about naming the feelings and the emotions. I know you've seen that in our work together, our private work together, which most people probably wouldn't talk about, but it's mine. So I have no problem doing that. I can if I want to. But when we've done some somatic healing work, we've gotten to that place where I have to two-step the process because I can't stay in the feeling. It's just too
out of it.
Yeah, it's too intense for me. I can't even see it. But one of the things that I wanted to click on, because I think there are a lot of people who are in this place, I couldn't even name the feelings when I was in that process, when I was having that experience again.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the name for feelings. All I could do was speak what I was observing. Yeah. And that to me was such a valuable lesson, especially for people who have a hard time showing up in their authenticity. I think a lot of us don't even understand what that looks like. We're so caught up in our mask.
Yeah. You talked about the mask a lot, and I refer to that as an identity, like an ego identity. Right. It's called a mask, same kind of thing that we're talking about here. Breaking through that the ego identity is the ego ultimately here to protect us, help us protect ourselves, really. And it's also here to drive us forward. You don't join the Bhava ministry unless you have an ego, because your ego says, I can do that. I can make a difference. I can be of service. And God says, yeah, we just show up, right? So we come in and we learn how to marry those two. Like the ego and spirit and come together for this glorious divine human experience, being of divine service.
Absolutely.
The ego gives you the drive, but it's unruly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it tends to get like a little out of control when it's calling the shots. So it like creates these costumes, these masks, these ego identities, which we really, really wholeheartedly believe that is who we are. And so when we run into an emotion or an experience inside of ourselves that is at odds with that ego identity, that story, then yeah, so you're like, I'm a scribe. I nope. I love that two-stepping process, and like that's what we do sometimes. It's like if you're having, what you brought up is really valuable. If you're having a hard time sitting with where you're at, like even knowing what the heck is going on inside you, where you keep wanting to bounce out of the feeling and into like that two-step in the process is like, this is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like. And then very slowly you can start to sink into, and that's how this makes me feel.
Right.
Just drop very slowly into that emotional experience. And we're going to say this again, and you will hear us say this over and over and over. It's a practice.
It is a practice. Honestly, it's such a practice. I've been looking for this list of feelings and emotions because it feels that just the words are still so locked in there. But it's such a practice. Yeah. And as you were talking about layers, peeling back the layers, you know how I always talk about the jawbreaker? You talk about the quilt. I always talk about the jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Layers and layers of armoring or whatever it is. But what I couldn't help but seeing again was masks we don't even know we're wearing.
Mask.
Exactly. It's like the never-ending scarf pulling thing. We don't even know we're wearing these masks until we get to the place where that container where we're covering ourselves up, that it's too tight and we have to peel it off.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about what you and I do, and what many of us, most of us in the Bhava community do, is we really work hard to identify, other people's masks as well as ours, and use our experiences to be transformative in a way that's completely non-judgmental. It's showing up as that divine mirror. And I think that's one of the reasons why your guidance is so powerful, and why we work together so well and produce such high quality results in just short periods of time. It's
all about the love.
It is.
Yeah. And the love and no bullshit.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
I was going to swear on these, and I did.
Well, that's okay.
We did.
I just think we attract an audience that's okay with us saying bullshit.
Yeah, I guess so. I was kind of thinking more in terms of like searchability and like on social media, like kind of good, like probably shouldn't swear on it, like, but whatever.
Oh well, it's a human experience, right?
It's a human experience. Yeah, juicy goodness.
Yes, well, I agree.
I'm starting to feel pretty dang close to completion. How about you, darling?
Oh, me too. I could sit here and chat all day, but I don't think it's necessary.
No, I thought maybe what I do is, I'm going to read the message one more time so that it sinks in. Because I like to read the message again, because the first time we hear it, we get part of it, and then we talk about it and we dive into it. And then it sinks in a little deeper. Next time we hear it, we get more out of it. And spirit is just magic that way. So why don't I read the message one more time? And then we'll make some announcements. And then we'll feel like we kicked butt this Sunday. Yeah. Okay. Here's the message. A great gathering is happening across the universe, and it is initiated by you. Though you are mostly unconscious of it at the moment, you will become aware of it soon enough. The more sensitive of you will sense it across the universe. The less sensitive will at least see it in your physical reality. This gathering is a coming together, a unification of hearts. It is the first real step forward in this new paradigm of love. It happens across the universe because it is happening here. You, your experience, your decisions, your expansion, this is the epicenter for all of the energy in your universe. Humans are special. You have God living in your heart, and it makes you a sort of engine for expansion or contraction across this entire universe. There is nothing but love for you here. You are not making mistakes, and you never have. You have created quite a lot of swells in and out of love, but we, all of us, all inhabitants of the universe, seen and unseen by you, have great faith in you. You are extraordinary. So this coming together in hearts on your planet is significant, and we are all following suit. We thank you for your hearts. We thank you for your courage. We thank you for your love. Your hearts are like love transmitters for both projection and receiving. They are like nothing else in this sliver of creation. We love that you can feel our love so acutely, and oh, we feel your love too. Every time you open your heart to each other, to yourselves, to Great Spirit, we get to feel that too. This is why we have such faith in you. We feel your hearts, and it is good. Yvonne, thank you so much for coming on and helping to create this sacred container with me today.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everybody who joined us in the comments or just viewers. If you wanted to sit back and watch and receive, totally fine. Those of you who joined in, we so appreciate your input. We appreciate your words. We appreciate your magic. If we didn't get to every comment, that's okay. Your comment is still valuable. It's going to help somebody else who comes along later and is scrolling through and looking for answers. So thank you so much. You can learn more about our mission on our website, bhavamission.org. That link is also in the description on this video. Again, we are a digital church. We are here to help you live in partnership with Spirit, and we have all kinds of fun ways in which we do that. So check out our website. If this message has been helpful to you today, do us a solid and like our pages, subscribe to us on YouTube, and share this video with your friends and your family and people who you love, who you feel would find this valuable as well, who could get something out of this message. The more that we share this out and expand on that patchwork quilt, well, the better it is for all of humanity, and it turns out the entire universe. Woohoo! If you get a lot out of our time here together, you can donate to the Bhava Mission. What we do, we show up. It has hard costs associated with it. So you can donate to our church. You can follow that link. It's on your screen. It's also in the description of this video. And we thank you so much for whatever you're able to contribute to us. You can make a one-time donation, or you can set up a monthly. So much. If you are interested in joining our mission and becoming a member and building your life in partnership with Spirit, learning to be a teacher of living in partnership with Spirit, I invite you to reach out to me directly. My email's on the screen. It's also, again, in the description of this video. If you feel drawn to this community, let's have a conversation and see if it's a good fit, because again, our community is open to new members. We want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're all moving in the same direction. Although we embrace the dogma of no dogma, all walks of life, all faiths are welcome in our community. There is a thread of faith that we all operate on, that same that unique thread. And if we're aligned with that, let's get together and change the world. Yvonne, did I miss anything?
I don't think you did.
I think we rocked it. Okay, well, thank you so much, sweet Yvonne. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We love you. We love you. We love you. And guess what? We love you.
Yep.
All right. Bye, babe.
Bye.